Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 Manager, and we are here for the Dutch Grand Prix of the circuit Zandvoort. And the drama of the last episode meant that Fredrik Vesti has replaced the crashing prone, front wing braking German of Nico Hülkenberg. So now we have Sebastian Vettel and Fredrik Vesti, who is Danish, driving number 60. High growth potential, high aggression, so expecting him to potentially crash quite a few times as well, but he's going to get a lot of time in the car, and he was replaced by Filip Drogovic, who is currently doing pretty well in F2. He's our reserve driver now for Aston Martin. He's got low aggression, but he's not here for long. He's only got a little contract for this year, so we'll probably replace him at some point. Vesti got a contract for 1 year as well, so he's got about half a year to prove himself and see how he's going to do in this one. Now, we do have issues in our powertrain. So if we look at our gearboxes here, Seb's actually got 2 that he can probably use. He'll be okay for this race. ERS, we've only really got 1. That's at 21%. We've got another one here for 70%. Maybe we'll get through this race. And then in the engine, we've got sort of a practice engine still that we can use, and then E3 for the race. But if we go and have a look at Vesti's car, now, gearbox, he's pretty buggered, to be honest, and we've got a little bit of cash. So I think we're now, because we've got, what, 23%, 24%, 14%, and 35%. So I think we're going to go and buy... we're going to do it. We're going to get a grid penalty, which means for car number 2, we're going to go and buy a new thing of everything. Because if we're going to take a grid penalty and start at the back of the grid anyway, we may as well do it buying lots of new components. So therefore, Vesti is basically going to get a brand new car with a new engine and everything for the Zandvoort Grand Prix. So hopefully it will allow him to put in a good couple of times. Not much else has happened since the last Grand Prix. We have coming up, though, if we have a look at the circuits, that's what I was trying to get to. We are... Where are we? We are here at Belgium. No, we're not. We're at Holland, sorry. So we've got next Monza, the Italy Grand Prix, then my home Grand Prix, or my second home Grand Prix at Singapore, then Japan, then the US, then Mexico, then Brazil, and then Abu Dhabi to see out the season. Of course, there is still quite a lot to play for, because we've got 8th. We need to get 8th or above in terms of the ratings. Which, where am I going here? Drivers, is that what I want to look at? Where do I want to look at here? I want to see the Constructors Championship. There we go. It's right here, Dave, you idiot. We're 7th in the Constructors at the moment. We've got a bit of a gap towards McLaren. Haas and Williams are there on 0 points. In terms of drivers, Vettel is up into 10th with 30 points. Then Vesti's bottom with 0. He'll overtake Lance Stroll. Don't worry about that. Alex Albon down there with 0. Mick Schumacher, Latifi as well. Hülkenberg got 6 points for us. So it was basically Seb carrying the team. So I don't feel too bad about sacking Nico. And I feel like if you're going to break 4 front wings in one weekend, you probably deserve to be sacked. So, yes, I mean, he cost us $1 million, remember, that we had to buy 2 emergency front wings going into the race. But the Zandvoort circuit, it's not too long, 1 minute 11. It's pretty quick lap, to be honest. It's hard to overtake, so Vesti could be in a bit of trouble starting at the back. Soft to mediums, soft to hard. Sorry, medium to hard, soft to hards, or a 2-stopper of soft, medium, soft. I'm pretty sure we're going to be going for the 1-stopper, probably soft to hard. We may push Vesti a lot longer and go hard to soft, but we'll see how that goes. But we need to tell them what we're going to do. Now, Seb didn't make Q2 last time, and it resulted in us losing a little bit of money. But I feel like we can do it this time. So one driver getting into P15 would be lovely. They want both drivers to get into Q2 on that one. The finish position, yeah, we'll get one driver to finish above 15th. And the hot streak, well, the hot streak is over. It ended in the last race. So we'll just leave it with that. Right, we're good to go. I'll see you for qualifying. I'm going to go and do practice. So into qualifying then, and a different setups for the drivers. Well, we're putting Vesti into the best chance ever of qualifying really well. The race has got a heavy rain, which could be incredibly interesting because Vesti's not very good in the wet, according to his stats. But yeah, if we look at practice 3 and stuff, lots of grid penalties for a few people. ours haven't registered, and we have taken new components for both Vesti and Vettel. They're both going to be in brand new cars for this one. So we've got the finishing position, the qualifying position on. Let's get into qualifying and see how we get on. So yes, here you go. We can look at it here. Setup confidence question mark for Seb. I'm hoping that he can get 100 after qualifying. It's an interesting one because I think I've got a setup which is going to get him 100. But he's on like 82, I think, at the moment. But with a little bit of tweaking, I think that's going to be 100. So if he can get the confidence through qualifying, I'll be a happy, happy man. I don't know if that's even possible. But look at that for Vesti. 100% track acclimatization, 100% car part knowledge, 100% setup confidence, 15 out of 15 performance bonus attributes. And he's going to have a brand new car, pretty much. So we're giving him the best of chance to do well in Q1 in his first ever F1 race. Come on, Vesti. So we do know that we get to fit our new components, and I think we are going to go for the brand new components. Maybe not the best track to put them in, but we're going to go for it. These are our new race components that we've got. And yeah, I'm very, very excited by this. So Seb in a brand new car as well for Q1. Let's see what he can do. And of course, Vesti is going to have the same. Now, it's really hard. I'm not expecting much of Vesti. I'm just expecting him to not break 4 front wings in the whole weekend. He didn't crash once in practice, so he's already got a better reputation than Nico Hülkenberg. But yeah, maybe it was ruthless. Maybe it was right to sack Nico. But we've sacked 2 drivers in our first season of Aston Martin manager. So yeah, let's get into qualifying. Come on, Fredrik Vesti, please do well. Right, here we are then in qualifying. We already know we're going to be starting right at the back of the grid. So we're going to get Vesti out there first and see what he can do on his new soft tyres and his brand new Aston Martin F1 car. Yeah, it's only like 1 minute 10 second on a 1 minute 11 lap. So that's Vettel. Here is Vesti round the banked circuit, or round the bank corner of the Zandvoort circuit, and here he goes. I mean, let's ride on board with him. It's his first ever appearance in F1. He's been in P3s, or P1s I should say, when he was backup reserve driver to Nico Hülkenberg, but now he is an official F1 driver. And yeah, let's see how he gets on here, right? We can have a quick look at his sector times and stuff like that. I think we can. Can we track it here? Oh, can we do it for both at the same time? We can, so we can compare them. 24.6 is the time for Vesti. A 24.5 for, so not too much difference. 0.1 of a second, basically. So Seb is currently setting the purple sector. Bottas should be behind him, but I think that means Bottas. No, Bottas did set a purple sector 1, but I'm hoping that we can be pretty good here. Yeah, well, Vesti's the only one to set a sector 2 at the moment, so 24.4. Seb beats that with a 24.2. Very good from Seb in the little technical sector. And then Vesti coming to the line. This is so fun to drive in the F1 game, by the way, that little banked bit there. As you come down over the line, and Vesti sets a 110.9. Very, very nice from him. Seb is over the line with a 110.6. So both drivers are in, and let's go and see how they settle after that lap. Bottas setting a pretty good time. Right, everyone get back to the pit lane. So a few more times just coming in. Vesti currently sitting 10th. Schumacher, Norris, Ocon and Latifi all behind him at the moment. Vettel up in 9th with Albon separating him and Vesti. But yeah, you can see Vesti's overall time, 0.3 of a second off Vettel. So yeah, hopefully he can improve on that. But with a 1 minute 11 lap time, look, some of the big boys feeling that they don't even need to set a lap right until the end. Gasly's going to set a time now. Sonoda is going to set one. And Ricciardo. Perez is also actually just on his way around as well as Ricciardo starts his fast lap. I'm sort of thinking if we go out... No, we're going to try and get the end because I think everyone's going to go again. As yeah, again, Vesti... It's not a terrible time he set, to be honest. Sonoda comes across and does jump above him, as does Ricciardo. So, okay, people are still putting in some decent times. But Vesti, not too bad at the moment. If he can maximise the car, there's a chance he may get out. You never know. You never ever know. So, now this is where we play ye olde waiting game, right? 108 to get round, about 110 for us. Let's give us 110, that's good. About an extra 15 seconds to start, so 125. I think if we go out with about 130, 135 left to go, no, maybe more than that, 140, 150, something like that. Let's just see when, okay, so everyone else is just starting to go. Yeah, I think we've got a little bit of time to play with here. So Vesti is going to go out first. We'll send Vesti on the 2-minute mark like that. And then Seb is going to go on 150. And hopefully that'll give us enough time to complete a lap here. Well, they're not the last ones out, so they're definitely going to complete this. We're going to do the classic, and we're going to ride on board with Seb when the moment comes. So as they come round here. And Seb is just about to come down the start-finish straight. So we'll jump on board with Sebastian Vettel as he starts his flying lap in Q1. And, well, again, should we put this up again? I know it cuts the screen out, but I do quite like the look of how you can see it. You can see how people are setting in sector time. So Seb is coming through. And it's a 24.66, a yellow. It's not even a green sector for Vesti. That's the point. 24.5 for Seb, setting a green sector, which is good. We want him to improve. Vesti coming through sector 2. Let's go on board with him just for a little bit. See how he deals with this technical area, which isn't the best for him. Whatever happens, we're probably starting at the back because we're taking the new engine components. He sets a green sector 2. That's lovely. That's what we want to see. Increase that time. Another green sector for Seb as well. So sector 1 and sector 2 is green for Seb, which is absolutely epic. Right, as we're getting in to the key bits now, at the moment we have Vettel and Vesti both in the drop zone as Vesti is going to cross the line. What's Vesti going to go to? He's currently 19th. Vesti jumps to 19th. He stays 19th. And Seb stays P17. Wow, that was disappointing. That was really disappointing. A long way off the pace. Like two tenths off the pace. Oh well, we're going to be starting from the back anyway because we've got a whole new engine in the car. So maybe this track isn't for us. Right, so it is raining even inside the pit hangar apparently, as you can see the rain there. But it is raining, which means everyone's probably going to be on the wets. As you can see, we are going to be starting from the bottom. 19 and 20 after our... In fact, no, we're not. That was practice. We are going to be starting from the bottom. I can tell you that right now. But they're saying intermediates. What's the weather going to do? So it's going to start wet. It's going to start rainy. Let's have a look at the track. It's going to start 3.75. It's actually going to get... I think we're going to start on full wets. And just see how they run, because that is going to dip down a little bit. How many laps is that? 6 laps. And then it's going to go up. It's going to go up to surely over 4 millimeters. And then it's going to slowly come down. Or do you go on inters and just stay on inters? Oh, this is... I mean, it's suggesting that you start on inters, right? And then you're going to change around here. We're going to change around there. I just think you go... Do you not just go full wets? You go full wets until... well, you push on full wets. Until it was somewhere around here, wasn't it? And then you jump onto the mediums, maybe? Push on the mediums. If you come in maybe 1 lap more. Let's have a look at that. How does that map? No, in fact, you want to be pitting a little bit earlier than that, probably. You sort of probably want to be pitting around there, which means the mediums may not make it. You don't have to push them hard all the way. I think... Do we go wet to... Because it's heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, light rain, light rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain. I sort of feel like... Where's the 4 millimeter? You sort of need a line going across. Because that is 3.75. Which means it's really close to full wet. So that's easily full wet. This is full wets. Full wets, full wets, full wets. Inters, 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 inters. Inters, 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 wets. Do we go for wets? Do we go for wets? I sort of feel like we go for wets. Maybe we'll put Seb on the wets and risk it with Seb. And we're going to give Vesti the intermediates. And he's going to go inters. I mean, look how much shorter the inters last. Well, the inters don't even get you to that. Wow. I think we both go. I think you go wets just to get you into that. Yeah, they're not going to be the quickest, but it means you don't have to pit again. I think we go for that. I think we go similar. I think we go both on wets and we try it. I just sort of feel like that's the sensible strategy. Like that. I think that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to push, and deploy from the off as well. Push, deploy from the off. In terms of fuel, I don't think we need a lot extra because of the wet weather. You're not going to be as hard on the accelerator, but yeah. So Seb comes in 36 to 42, 35 to 41. I know it's a risk, but I feel like that's sensible, right? Either way, you're not going to... The intermediates can't get you all to the all the time while the weather's rainy. So if we go wets and pass the first... Let's check this again. It's our first ever fully heavy rain thing. So even if you get on the inters here, you're not going to be as quick as us in this weather. You'll be quicker than us here. But then you need to pit the intermediates sort of here. Let's set up a intermediate strategy quickly and just make sure I'm not being an idiot. So you have to pit potentially onto the hards there, even if you don't, or there, if you don't run them full pelt, which still A, doesn't get you to the end, and B, means you have to do another stop, and it's going to be still wet there on the track, which means you're then going to go to another set of inters, which you're going to wear. Maybe you would pit a little bit earlier and run them harder, like that, and then you're going to go on to probably the softs or the mediums and run them hard, and you're going to do 2 stops. So I don't get it. I don't think that's... Unless inters is quicker than just wets. So we'll create strategy D. You know, Wanks, we're going to start on the wets, aren't we? I'm going to start on the wets. We're going to start on the wets. And then potentially we pit in here somewhere. We push them all really hard. I think that's what we're going to do. That'll be D. So if we feel like we need to change onto the inters, we can just select D. But for the moment, we're going to start like that, right at the back, 20th and 19. We've got there's not much to lose, is there? We can only get better. So yeah, here we go.
The drivers are ready and the crowds are waiting. It's the Dutch Grand Prix.
So in the pouring rain, the Dutch Grand Prix gets underway. And Vesti is at the back, Vettel is at the back. We are trying to push. It's really wet out there. So there you go. It's gone to a fully wet track straight away. So we should be in prime position here because we're in the wets as Vesti gains a position. And here you go. I think our wets are already coming into play. Let's jump on board with Seb.
Looks like Aston Martin have just...
We may have had an absolute masterstroke of a decision here. As look at that. That's Vesti. Holy crap, he's up to 16th.
You done a good job.
Go on, lad. Vettel trying to now push on the AlphaTauri. They're just not going to have as much grip as us.
Aston Martin took a chance.
This is amazing. Go on, Vesti. What a start to his first ever Grand Prix. Is there anyone else on wets? Yeah, there is. There are a few people on full wets. So we'll have to watch what they do. But at the moment, what a start. Vettel up to 18th. Vesti fighting for 15th on his first ever Grand Prix. Oh yes, there's Ocon also in the full wets. So don't worry about it, Fredrik. Don't worry about it, mate. It's a fantastic start. He's gone for a huge dive bomb as well. And he's going to make it stick. Oh, go on, Vesti, son. Go on, lad. Oh, there's a big queue. We're trying to... You can see him trying to find a place to create an overtake. Come on, Vettel. Vettel is being shown up here by an amateur. Oh, I say an amateur. And there you go. They're pitting. They're pitting for full wets straight away. Oh, my word. This is amazing. Vesti is up into 12th. Come on. Oh, he nearly had an accident. He nearly had an accident. I sort of feel like we can probably drop this down to neutral for the time being, just to make sure we don't have an accident. But Vesti up to 12th. Vettel up to 15th, and the other teams have they've got it wrong. They've got their strategy wrong. And if we look at the weather, I think we're going to be good here. I think we're going to be okay.
That's it.
Right, Seb up to 13th, so he's now battling his teammate. Track is now damp, but I assume everyone's going to come out onto the wets, onto full wets. Yeah, they are. A couple of people still on inters that stayed out bravely, but it's not going to be long until it goes back up, I think. So we're in a very good position with the strategy at the moment. Just no errors from the drivers, and we're going to be doing wonderful. Vettel can see his new young teammate in front of him is Fredrik Vesti, the future of this team. Look at that last lap, 1:30.9, quicker than 3 cars in front of him. Come on, Vesti, what a start. Okay, it's only lap 3, but people realise they've messed up and they have all pitted. Everyone is now on full wets, and we are up into 9th and 10th on lap 3 of the Dutch Grand Prix here, and this is epic. Just the right strategy call there has made all the difference. Absolutely amazing in this wet race. We're trying to get Seb to push a bit closer to Vesti, which he's done now. I know there's no DRS, but we can at least get Vettel and Vesti close to each other, because Vettel, for some reason, has really pushed his fuel. Vesti hasn't. So now that we're getting a bit of a tow from everyone, I'm hoping we'll be okay. In fact, we could carry on pushing and try and get past, because it's Ocon, Schumacher, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and then a big gap until Alonso. But I also don't want to push too hard. It is still raining, it is still wet, and I know conditions aren't amazing for racing in this, but it suited us down to the ground. Aston Martin on the charge. Okay, so the sun has come out, but in 1 minute's time there's an 85% chance of heavy rain. So I feel like, yeah, this next set of rain is already here. You can see it on the screen. It's been changed to wet. We're on wet. Everyone's on wet, so we should be in a pretty decent position here, as well, fuel has just suddenly gone all over the place for both drivers, so we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, I feel like let's try and make a few moves with this as well and get the battery out and see how it's going. But Vesti, what a performance in the rain. His first F1 Grand Prix, up into 6th. Lovely stuff. I feel like we have to give massive credit to Alfa Romeo as well, who are well out in front here. Bottas and Zhou, 1 and 2, and there's a 6-second gap between Bottas and Zhou, and then a 6-second gap back to Norris, who then has a 6-second gap in front. Oh no, Alonso's right on his tail, although this is Aston Martin on Aston Martin in the rain, as Vettel is trying to get past Vesti, and it looks like he's done it. And to be honest, I don't mind that. Vettel is the more experienced driver, but Verstappen is right on their tail. And now, Max, don't cause an incident here, Max. Don't do anything stupid, Mr. Verstappen. Although he is fighting for a point, and he has the fastest lap of the race, so I'm expecting him to pass us probably on the start-finish straight as we come around the high-speed banked corner. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Heavy rainfall, 6.36. This is very, very wet right now, and we can use this as a future reference to decide what's going on. Then it might be a change to strategy D around here, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But at the moment, we are in a very good position. I am expecting Verstappen to take over both Aston Martins that we have here. But at the moment, we're riding on board with the Dutchman at his home Grand Prix. He's trying to go around the outside of Vesti. Can the youngster defend against him? He's not going to have any of it, the Danishman, and holds him off. Lovely stuff, Fredrik. So Vettel and Vesti still doing a really good job of defending from Verstappen. He hasn't managed to get past yet, as we're on lap 13. But keeping an eye on the weather, we're just getting into this point where it's just becoming a little bit drier for the full wet. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here, because I'm wondering if they pit again, it's going to heavily rain, and then dry off. I'm hoping we've got this right. So far, so good on the strategy, but we've just got to make sure. This is where I'm expecting Verstappen to make his move, but again, he just can't beat the Aston Martin. That new engine, gearbox, and ERS seems to be doing wonders for both Aston drivers, as again, he tries to go around the outside. Vesti defends the inside, and without DRS, Verstappen is no one. You heard it here first. Without DRS, Verstappen is no one. Okay, so we're now into the section of the weather where it's becoming a damp track, not a full wet track. So let's see if other people come into pit from intermediates. So I think intermediates will get you all the way to when it dries up, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, as Vettel was trying to make an overtake on Ocon. So let's see how this goes. Is Verstappen finally going to get Vesti? No, he's not. Doesn't look like it's going to happen on this lap. But yeah, it's still 3.6 on the track. 4mm is wet tyres. It's going to come really down. I don't think it is going to go above that again. So it's sort of like if you pit, it's sort of now. So let's have a look and see who's going to come in. I'd be very surprised. Yeah, nobody's coming in front. Verstappen's not coming in. Nobody's coming in, I don't think. It'll be interesting to see if Leclerc or Gasly do. Is anyone going to come in for the intermediates? No, they're not. Everybody stays out. So it is... does appear to be quicker, as Verstappen looks like he's going to get past Vesti, and does. Oh, is he? Or is he? He's pushed him wide, the youngster. He's not having any of it. Getting his elbows out. Go on, lad. Yeah, good battling. Good battling. Don't mind that at all. Okay, we're in an interesting position here. I've just paused it there, but Vesti's starting to lose quite a lot of time. Do we bring him... I am going to pause it, actually. Do we bring him onto the strategy of intermediates and then hards? 1 to 4 millimeters. It's currently at 3. I'm wondering if we pit him now for intermediates and try that strategy D. Basically the strategy D that we had set out for Seb. So if we go intermediates, basically now, push them really hard, add new stint, and then still pit in around a similar time onto the mediums. Can we push them from there? No, we'll go to the hards and push them, or keep it pretty solid. Do we go for that? Let's say it's going to be 3 minutes and 4 seconds quicker if we do that. Yeah, why not? Come on, Vesti. Let's go for you. Let's try it. Risk it for a biscuit, my friend. Risk it for a biscuit. Right, where they're here. So he can dive into the pit lane right now for intermediate tyres. Pit this lap. Right, Vesti, you are our guinea pig, son. Let's see how this one goes as we're going to watch him round. He's going to lose quite a lot of places, but he's in. He's in. And let's see if this works. And we're going to monitor his lap times. And if he's pitting a lot quicker than Seb, then we're going to get him in. We're going to get Seb in as well and go to the intermediates, I think. But for now, only 22 seconds, so he's not going to be last. Let's just get him out of the pit lane as he is in there. Right, push on the fuel as well. And let's see what we can do. So he's 11 seconds off Russell, but he is on the preferred tyre for this weather now, as they're severely overheating at the moment, but that'll be okay. They'll sort themselves. They'll get into temperature. Don't worry, they'll get into temperature. So, lap history. Vettel, 121, 122, 122. So Seb's just done a 121. So Vesti was doing a 122.4. Okay, let's... we'll come back to that and keep an eye on it in a minute. Let's see how he's doing. Vettel's still up in 9th, though. Doing a cracking job hanging on the back of that... of the Haas in front of him. Good stuff, Seb. Okay, so this is really interesting. I've been tracking Vesti's laps. He is lapping quicker than those around him and slowly starting to match the very fast drivers on this circuit. So the intermediate does appear to be much quicker. Yeah, he was pushing on the engine, but do we bring Seb in? It's only going to go above for a little bit at that point. It's a tough one to decide with Seb, and as you can tell, I can't make my mind up. Okay, so the next bit of hard rain is coming. So I'm gonna leave Vesti on harvest. I want to get that battery up to basically 100, because again, as it drops down, he's going to be in the prime down here. So it's going to be struggling for Vesti as it gets full wets. But, which is now, Vesti's going to really struggle now. But I still think he's in a decent position, so he's got quite a lot of battery there. So let's pop him back on neutral. Vettel looked good in the wet, but he's got signs right on his backside. And it looks like it's quite an easy track to conserve fuel when you need to. So,
stop lifting coast.
Right, Seb, how are you looking for your strategy, my friend? Your tyres are dipping just below, but that's because it was an intermediate sort of weather. And again, Vesti's are looking a bit better than should be. We could bring in Seb slightly early. So Seb's looking at 39. 39 is still going to be pretty wet. I think we have to extend these wets a bit, because I think that's now looking more likely. And again, we're going to have to extend these to around about there, I think, which probably means we can end up on the mediums with Vesti. But for now, we're looking okay. We've definitely improved on where we started. Okay, we've had a crash. Someone's hit the wall. It's yellow flagged. It's Tsunoda
Let's see what happens.
who spun and crashed into the wall, apparently, in the rain. What does he do? Just tries to put too much power on it.
Terrible news for the
Slides into the wall, but that is going to be Tsunoda dropping down well from near the bottom to basically bottom, as Vettel's doing a very good job in the rain. And Vesti, it hasn't really worked for him, I'll be honest. But you know, it's a work in progress for Vesti. It's a work in progress. As he got overtaken by Albon because it is full wet condition and he's not in full wet tyres, so he's always going to struggle. But I'm hoping that it means as the weather drops off, he'll have a bit of an advantage. We'll find out. It's all fun and games. We'll find out. Okay, so it has now stopped raining apparently. So what we need to do is just keep an eye on this rainfall chart. As soon, yeah. So Vesti's dropping down because of the wrong tyre choice. But as soon as that goes below 4. I'm pushing everything with Vesti. I'm pushing absolutely everything for him. He's been unlucky at the moment. He hasn't got a good adaptability rating, which means he can't really drive in the wrong sort of tyre in bad weather conditions. But Vettel's only slipping down the order because it's Sainz and Leclerc that are battling him and they're just in a faster car. So I don't mind that. But Seb's doing a good job. Okay, so we're getting into the territory where Vesti's tyres should come alive. He's a long, long way off. He is a long, long way on his own because of this strategic mess up. But you never know. You never know. Right, let's start to push, and deploy. See if we can make this up. It's just about to get into his territory. Seb can push as well on there. And hopefully we can make this work for Vesti. He's 45 seconds back. He's a long, long way back. But now it's all a case of getting this strategy right. Okay, the weather has now changed. So, looking at the track, it's still saying, what is it? It's under 1 millimetre, isn't it? So it's going to be like down here somewhere. I think if he's so far back, we can get him early on the hards. That's probably still going to be too early. Because what's that? That's lap. So if we go to 45, that's 45. Whack him on the mediums and run them fully. So lap 45 might be a little bit too late. I still don't think that's 1 millimetre, but I feel like that's what we're now going to go with. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with Vesti. I think Seb as well. We know that rain isn't quite right. So on there, lap 46 for Seb we'll go with. Let's go lap 46 and see how that does. We'll push them hard. Can we go to the softs at all? No, we'll go mediums and push them hard like that for now. Right, let's see how this works. Vesti has been a bit of a guinea pig in this race, right? So hopefully now it's in prime conditions for him. He can make some time up. Okay, so we've entered the pit window for Vettel. There's 2.29 millimeters. Again, I sort of feel like we just pit Vesti first because he's the guinea pig in this race. I still feel that's going to be far too much water on the track. Lap 41 to lap 43. It's going to dry up really quickly. It's going to dry up really, really quickly. And Seb is lap 46. Lots of strategy tinkering going on here. Lap 45, Seb. Lap 45. It's very, very tense, this. It's very tense. Right. Vettel's dropped down to 11th, but he has only got Ricciardo in front of him. Oh, Vettel's tyres are seriously going here.
Copy that.
So don't push so hard. We're down to 2.1. If I just make them last another lap, Seb, that's all we need. And he has made them last another lap. So onto the mediums we go. They are 100%. We are going to pit this lap for Seb.
Okay, box
For Seb. So he just needs to nurse those tyres around one more lap. I'm sort of thinking we could bring Vesti in at a similar time. He's just gone past. So, yeah, pit onto the mediums, pit this lap. They're not going to hit. They're so far away from each other. They are not going to... they're not going to connect. They're not going to double stack or anything like that. So, I don't think anyone else is going to pit. I don't think anyone else is going to pit this lap. So, Seb, where is Seb? How close is he to coming? He's coming around the technical section, so we could get him to push a little bit on these tyres. No, we won't risk it. We won't risk it. We will get him to deploy his battery, though, because he's coming in to the pits.
Use energy if you need.
So we can monitor this, and then just before he comes in, we'll get it onto harvest so that he can just at least charge up as he breaks into the pits, which is always useful. As he comes around now, he's got, yeah, Hamilton, Russell right on his tail. Right, round here, round you go, pop it on harvest so that you get it into the pits. Like that, nearly hits the Mercedes as he comes flying into the pits, and then Vesti isn't going to be too far behind him. We'll get him on harvest now. Right. We need a good stop here, team. We need a good stop. He goes on to the mediums earlier than anyone else. It's a decent stop. They're ready to go again for Vesti. That is absolutely perfect. There is Vesti. We've gone early with Aston Martin here, making the call. The rainfall has completely stopped. It's slightly not good for slick tyres, but let's see how this goes. Right, fully deploy. Go aggressive for now.
Use energy.
Right, let's see how we do. Vesti, you need to come out here and also set some good times. Attack. We'll leave you on balance for now. And you're wow, you haven't got any ERS, so we'll put you on neutral for now. Right, 1.37. We need this to drop very, very quickly and make this strategy count. Otherwise, we're in a lot of trouble. Right, here we go then. Track is dry. We are going for this.
DRS is enabled.
DRS is now enabled. I'm hoping we're in a bloody good position given that we're the first ones to go onto the mediums and nobody's pitted off their wets yet.
No saving required.
Wow. This really should put us in a good position here. Because they're going to be really slow on those wets. They're going to be really, really slow. I'm expecting this group at the front here to come in. Who is it? I think that's like Norris, Alonso. They don't come in. They stay out on their wets. Is that Ocon there? Is he going to come in? Surely they've got to come in. They're not. They're all staying out. Oh, someone's in. Perez is in. There we go. This group is now pitting. How far is Vettel from that group? I think he's quite far away. Oh, it's going to be interesting. I think Vettel's going to come out sort of... Yeah, they've already... It's such a short pit lane here. We may jump some people, but we really do need to keep this pushing to get up as much as we can. Come on, chaps. Come on. Look, they're still all in the pits.
Need to charge DRS.
Like, it's gonna be close. Vettel's definitely caught them all up.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Come on.
Copy.
Oh, he's only jumped one person. Damn it, that's irritating. Battery empty there. Battery soon to be empty for Seb as well, as he's getting lapped by Bottas. Oh, it's not quite worked. I mean, there are a lot of people in front of us that still haven't pitted, who are all coming in now, it seems. But yeah, and they've all gone onto the softs, so they pushed the wets out for a little bit longer, and then went out onto the softs. I don't... bit of a backfire in terms of strategy here. Not quite right, but a good effort. A good effort. We had to try something different. We started at the back of the grid, right? So, I mean, Vesti's had a bit of a shocker, to be honest, as we're fighting with the leader. Why are we doing that? We're a back marker. Seb, you're just gonna have to let him go if he gets in front of you again. So don't fight him. Get the slipstream. Come on, Seb. Use your noggin. Your experience. Is it because Bottas is on the wets? No, maybe it's Zhou actually. Is that Zhou? No, Zhou's there. It is Bottas. No. I don't know who that was that we were fighting there then. Oh, it was Zhou because he's coming now to the pits. So, yeah, we were fighting someone that was just coming in to the pits there. But, yeah, it's not really worked. Everyone's now pitted. And we still find ourselves 9 seconds. 9 seconds, is that, off Russell? Yeah, so a bit disappointing, but we tried. We tried something special. Didn't work. So, Vesti's just gone wide on the corner. Didn't hit the railings, but has... had to park up to let all these other drivers go past, so he's now been lapped like twice. So not a great debut, but I do feel like a lot of it was the strategy that we put him on. If we had kept him on the wets, he would have had a much better race. But unfortunately, you win some, you lose some, right? We said he was going to be a guinea pig. It didn't work out, but now we're just sort of watching Vettel, seeing if he can catch up to Schumacher, which I don't think he will. But you never know. You never know. Getting 15th would get us a bit of bonus money. But for now, we're just letting Vesti poodle along, get some experience in an F1 car. And Vettel is currently in 16th. So, not too bad. You never know. We may get a safety car, which would bunch everyone up. And then we get a chance. So, no safety car forthcoming. 4 laps to go. And Vettel's massively closed the gap to Schumacher. But it's not going to be enough to catch him for 15th place in this one. Vesti, loving it. Absolute train behind him. And somehow, Bottas and Zhou are still... That shows how good it could have been if we got the strategy right. Bottas and Zhou, 34 seconds ahead. Zhou is 34 seconds behind Bottas. But Zhou has got a 6-second gap to Verstappen, and this could be a monumental moment for Alfa Romeo, and I don't begrudge them. They've done it really well. Well played to them. They've managed it well. Yeah, what could have been, if I hadn't have changed the tyres? I mean, Vettel did drop down as well, but yeah, bit unlucky. Just a bit unlucky. Last couple of laps then. We'll be back to see Alfa Romeo cross the line, I'm sure. And there is Valtteri Bottas, who's won the Grand Prix. Magnussen gets 11th as he finishes just behind him. But just to show you, very quickly then, Bottas has finished. 2nd place is here. Zhou is so far behind him. It's utterly ridiculous. Bottas has raced that unbelievably well. Vettel is going to cross the line in 16th unless Michael Schumacher does something spectacularly rubbish. And I assume Vesti's going to get 20th because, well, Latifi is sort of, maybe only just slightly in front of him, but it says 45 seconds. So, yeah, not the best of races, but you win some, you lose some. I'm not too fussed. We didn't break any front wings, so I'm happy with the team in that sense. And there we go. So not the best race. Bottas and Zhou, they started, what was that? That would have been 5th and 6th, and then jumped up to 1st and 2nd with the pit stops. Verstappen and Sainz doing a great job there. But yeah, we screwed Vesti over in terms of strategy. He was setting some good times, 1:12.9, so quicker than the Williams, quicker than both Williams, quicker than the Haas. Yeah, he didn't do too bad, to be honest. Seb probably could have done better. Did only have a 1-stop, but yeah, struggled at some points in it. Well done, Valtteri Bottas. Lovely stuff for him. Vettel drops down at 1 place to 11th, and in the constructors, we don't move. We stay 7th, which is good. McLaren have some big gains on us with 6 points, but we are still 13 points ahead of them, and we come back fighting in the next Grand Prix, I'm sure. So we do have new chassis manufactured, which is good. What else we got? Rear wings have been completed. Rear wing number 3, are they? I think they're already on the car, aren't they? Car 1, rear wing change, rear wing 3 is on both cars, yeah. So I think we're now sorted. So 4 in total, 2 in the warehouse. 4 in total, 2 in the warehouse. 3 in total, 1 installed. Okay, installed on car number 2, please. So both of them now have that, which is good. So the front wing is 2 and 1 in the warehouse, but we are manufacturing and doing a research project on it. The chassis is now back, so installed on car 1 and installed. Ooh, manufacture another one, please. 8 days, 6 days. When's the next Grand Prix? The next Grand Prix is in. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Okay. Car number 1, chassis change. So yeah, we need 1 more chassis, and we need it. Emergency. I mean, can we do? How much does it cost to do 3 of them? No, we'll do 1 emergency. I think. Yeah, we'll do a 1 emergency one and just get it on the car, because it does have some good things in it, and then we'll do 2 for backup, just normal, for 150 grand. I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that. 1 emergency and then two backups. Did we check everything else? So underfloor 2 is on both cars, and we have only 1 in the warehouse. So we'll do another one of that just for a backup for the underfloor. Did I just build the wrong one? No, because that's got in the warehouse 4. I think I did just build the right. Yeah, in development 1. Good. I thought I'd made the wrong one then. Rear wing, what have we got here? We've got 4 in total, 2 on the car, 2 in the warehouse. Side pods, 2 in the car, 2 in the warehouse. Suspension, 2 installed, 1 in the warehouse, 1 in development. Okay, cool. So we're building that as well. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, what have they got to say to us here? So the rear wing is now manufactured, which is lovely. Regulation vote. Ooh. Regulation changes. Change the cost cap. Lower the price of the cost cap. We have noticed the potential for smaller teams to be priced out of the competition. We propose a lower cost cap to keep all teams on a level playing field. These changes are detailed below, so please respond after you have reviewed them. Yes, I'm all for that. I'm a lower team. I don't want the big boys spending more money than me. And then the ATR period starts today, so we'll get some new development on there. And there's the race every a difficult race. Yeah, it wasn't the best. Was not the best. Next up is Monza. Looking forward to that one in Italy. In between that, we have a new front wing being manufactured. The testing period starts today. We're going to manufacture our suspension. The facility hub's going to be upgraded. And we're going to have our front wing 3 manufactured again. And then it's the Monza Grand Prix where we will be back. So thank you so much for watching. Vesti does get a seat. Struggling in his first Grand Prix. But hopefully they... not even the weather. The weather wasn't the problem. The strategy was the problem. Hopefully the strategy is spot on for Monza. Thank you for watching. We'll see you then. Cheers.